Alright, here, let's see here. There we go. Alright, I'm at the stage of editing where I need to go through and decide a name for each segment, and I need to decide 3 different graphics per chapter. Alright, segment 1. Really dark, so let's get some light in here. There we go. Alright, chapter 1, segment 1. Budgets don't work. There's lots of advice out there about how to manage your money. Plenty of self-proclaimed experts all telling you these promised results guaranteed with their one-size-fits-all systems. But we're smarter than that. As with our food diets and sexual preferences, what works for some just doesn't work for others. And what worked for an individual in the past might currently be hindering their goals. Or it should be might be hindering their current goals. And what worked for an individual in the past might currently be hindering their goals. And what worked for an individual in the past might be hindering their current goals. You know what? I like that. We're going to take away out currently, and we're going to keep current. So, as with our food diets and sexual preferences, what works for some just doesn't work for others. And what worked for an individual in the past might be hindering their current goals. I like that. We're going to keep that. I'll look it up later. Oh, but boom. Alright, that's why if you're an intellectual person, always keep sticky notes. Always, 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 always. Alright, life changes. That's why things that can stand the test of time are so valued. Because they are rare, and the path to attainment seems so elusive to most of us. It is my goal to help others along their financial journey. I'm under no illusion that the system I created will work for everyone. If, in the end, your money sign doesn't work for you, then I congratulate you on seeking your path and sincerely wish you the best. We are all figuring out this thing called life as we go. And for most of us, we must wait until very late in our lives to finally begin to understand money. We have to learn how to earn, how to generate, how to manage, how to leverage, how to budget, and how to value money. Because money isn't going away, whether it's pink shells or metal coins or linen paper or digital currency, money will be along for the entirety of human functioning. But, unlike the latest celebrity diet or fashion fad, money principles never actually change. We all know them. Earn more than you spend. Let your money make money. Don't put all your eggs in one basket. Yet how many people are in debt, trading time for money, and relying on a single source of income? So clearly there is something else going on here that no one talking about, that no one is talking about. That's what I had to learn. All the money stuff that wasn't in the books and podcasts and seminars. I am confident that any adult reading this knows exactly what that feels. Nope. I am confident that any adult reading this knows exactly how that feels. Okay, that doesn't make sense. No matter if you were home or public or private schooled or government raised, at some point in your life you realize that if you really wanted to learn something, then you had to figure it out on your own. Concluding that there was a flaw in the system, you sought answers outside of the conventional. Perhaps you figured out how to play the latest game that no one in your family had heard of, or maybe learned a new language to impress a crush, or maybe started a new activity that made you feel amazingly energized. That's most of our childhood. Eventually, though, as we grow older, most of us find ourselves with no steady income, all the demands of life, and a system that doesn't support our desires. That's when the debt begins to pile up and we put more hours into activities that serve other people and rely on a single job or provider. And for many people, they think that's just how life works. So they give up their energy and they slowly try to make everyone else around them accept the same fate of servitude. I'm not here to tell anyone what life they should be living. That's not my place. I'm here for the past version of me. I firmly believe that it is my duty and obligation to share my lessons learned. That is my purpose in life. Over the last decade, I have been crafting your money sign. From time to time, someone has come up to me and explained that my lessons helped them. If I have value to give that can ease another's suffering, then I will freely give it. Wisdom doesn't have to be learned firsthand. Many of us are needing a better relationship with money, and I hope that you will at least hear my lessons of how to craft a healthy relationship for life. And I'm going to call this No One is Talking About This. Okay, here. That's what I have there. You know, let me do this so it'll be faster. Okay, so I had a few just two little editorial errors in there. But nothing that really needs to be graphed out. So there's that segment. Okay, segment 2. Introducing Samantha. I'd like to introduce 19-year-old Samantha. She is a college student in America with no declared major, yet who models to earn an income. Being the youngest of 5 children, she's always been most comfortable going with the flow and following the lead of her family. So when her parents said to go to college, she got student loan debt. When her brother told her to buy a new car, she got a car payment. Every time one of her sisters starts a new makeup or candle or shoe business, she is the first to buy from them and charge up her credit cards. When her mother told her to get on birth control, she started paying for that monthly. When her boyfriend didn't like her living in student housing, she took on a lease only in her name because he didn't qualify, though he declared his never-ending love and promised to pay half. After their breakup a few months into the lease, she took on the whole rent. When her agent told her that wearing the same outfit to 2 different auditions was bad for her reputation, Samantha started giving away clothes after a single use. After she was denied an audition, her aunt recommended to try a professional makeup shop. At her next audition, Samantha got the part and has since only purchased the very best products and paid professional prices to have them applied to her face. When a new boyfriend said he didn't like her natural hair color, she started also going to professional hairstylists and only buying the products they recommended. She is always a payment or 2 behind on something, but somehow always makes ends meet before being evicted or getting a card canceled. All her college friends tell her how intelligent she is and how they are envious of her success so early in life. She feels bad for her friends who work difficult jobs, and when they say they don't have the money to come out, She gladly pays for their food, clothes, rides, and drinks. She just wants everyone to be happy like she is. One day, one of her professors talked to her about debt consolidation loans and the importance of buying a house. With help for the down payment from her grandparents, she bought a house and took on a high mortgage. Her family was so excited for her that they wanted the next holiday gathering at her place. She was thrilled, and, since she had just freed up all her credit cards, she was able to buy the beds, chairs, tables, artwork, blankets, pillows, plates, pans, decor, and houseplants to make the occasion beautiful. Everyone she knows tells her how lucky she is and how they wish they could live like she does. She agrees that her life is amazing, and she believes everyone could be as happy as she is. So what if she misses payments sometimes? Everyone does. So what if she sometimes joins dating sites to have men pay for things? She's young and should enjoy life. So what if one credit card is at its limit? There are 3 more student card offers in her mailbox. So what if she shoplifts once in a while? It's not actually hurting anyone. She is young and intelligent and knows that she can take on the world one day when her modeling career takes off and she can pay everyone back, plus some margaritas in Costa Rica. She never worries about money and doesn't see why so many people say that money is bad or hard to come by. For Samantha, money has always just been there somehow. She never has to question how much she has beyond how close to the limit it is. Money flows freely. When she needs some, she gets it from family. When family needs some, she gladly gives it. Alright, that was segment 2. We found 2 errors, and I'm going to call this Introducing Samantha. Introducing Samantha. Alright. Segment 3. A trigger is when you move towards pleasure and away from pain. I'm going to see if I want trigger graphics. That's option 1 for this chapter. For most of my 20s, I used money to buy sweets as a way of emotionally rewarding myself. Cakes, ice cream, cheesecakes, candy, soda, every meal, every time. I saw friends go through a breakup and then buy an entire new wardrobe on credit cards as a way to feel sexually desirable. A friend didn't like the car his uncle had bought him, so traded it in to feel independent, even though he couldn't fully afford the car payment. This is a huge point that is just completely void from any financial self-help book I've ever read, and I've been reading them for 10 years now. Sure, it's easy to tell someone to brush it off, but much more difficult when you're the one looking in the mirror and hating what you see. The brain doesn't like rejection, pain, or discomfort. And we are all masters of rationalizing ourselves out of any situation if we tell ourselves it will make us feel better. Sure, there is a level of financial intelligence that we all must learn. How to balance our finances, the difference between a CPA and an IRA, what in the world is a HODL, etc. And there are great sources out there talking about all that surface stuff. But what about those times you know all that stuff and yet still overspend or rationalize picking a new 75-inch TV instead of making an extra payment on your mortgage? My drive has been to understand what's making us choose actions that we learn are not good for us. That we agree are not good for us, that we swear on a grave that we won't ever do. But then we do it anyways and just live with the regret or the humiliation from those we promised. We're smart people, damn it. So what can we do to keep us from stupid financial moves? Your money sign was started with a penny that my son had found on the way to the grocery store and a terrible knowledge of Excel. It was simple. Address all the areas of my money that were at war in my lack of a bank account. Spend account. I must spend money. Invest account. I can't work forever, so at some point my money has to work for me. Give account. I have so much more to give this world than 40 hours a week watching the clock. Net account. I had no clue what it was, hence the misspelling, but Forbes magazine said it was important, so I added it. These were the many battles constantly going on in my mind when it came to money. I had to spend, but I needed to have a savings. I needed to invest, but I had to pay the bills. I had to put in the hours, but I didn't want to be working because it was boring and I had no interest in it. Back and forth constantly. It was draining. My first step was to just categorize each battle almost like a Magic the Gathering tournament. S stacks N, I stacks S, S stacks G. For some reason, bringing attention to the battles and naming them gave me a sense of control over the fighting. For a time, I had to assign a hierarchy to each category. It would work for a bit, but then life would change up again, and it got sabotaged. I felt defeated. But I knew I had something important. Spend account, invest account, give account, net account. Every thought about money could be firmly defined by one of these categories. We spend money, we need money to grow, we need to have a life, and we need to accumulate some wealth. I knew that much. Now all I had to do was figure out how, in a way that wouldn't get thrown off again. In a way I wouldn't get thrown off again. Yeah, I guess that makes sense. Okay, here. So I'm definitely going to do a graphic on this, but I think my first graphic should actually be the SIGN. Okay. So, pain to pleasure. SIGN. Spend money, grow money, have a life, accumulate wealth, accumulate wealth. Huh? Yeah, I like that. I don't like that. I didn't find any spelling errors. Cameras in use. Please sign in with your PIN. Great. So how much of this have you guys been seeing as a black screen? And I guess it doesn't matter. I didn't do much with it, but still. What are you doing, camera? We're recording. We're supposed to stay active. Okay. I'm going to call this a trigger. What is a trigger? What is a trigger? What is a trigger? What is a trigger? Alright, so that's segment 3. 4. How do you get mixed money signals? Well, let's get some other. What? Actually, yeah, I'm not going to say what is. I'm just going to say triggers. Triggers, mixed money signals, mixed money signals. Triggers, mixed money signals. Okay. Do you get mixed money signals? When you are comfortable moving towards pain and uncomfortable moving towards pleasure, I call that mixed signals. Like we already discussed, our brains do not like pain or discomfort. Yet I have seen people give away their life savings, pain, because they were afraid of being seen as greedy for having a year emergency fund, pleasure. This is where all the financial self-help books are just no help. They tell you a surface level rule like save 10% of your income and then just leave you like that's the end of the story. But it isn't. In my humble opinion, that's actually only the start of the story. If we feel bad for doing something we know is good, then something is missing from the equation. I noticed this many times when I would choose a category over another. If I chose to spend money on groceries instead of on my writing, S stacks G, then I'd feel bad, even though I knew the right thing to do was to have food in the house. No financial book I've ever read addressed the deep emotions I felt, the inner turmoil I had, nor how to balance your money so that there is no more inner war. These mixed signals came up again and again. I knew that there had to be a way to understand what was going on and how to put into place a system. But first, I had to have some guidance. I needed to know the rules. But first I had to have some guidance. I needed to know the rules. Spend account. Money put here was meant to be spent. Keep a low balance while storing a fluff amount for unexpected expenses was acceptable. Maybe that should be the second graphic. Graphic 2. Mixed signals and the rules. Spend account. Money put here was meant to be spent. Keeping a low balance while storing a fluff amount for unexpected expenses was acceptable. Invest account. Money put in here could only be put towards things that would give a return on my capital. Give account. Money put here was to be used to express myself authentically and only on myself. I don't know why that's fully capitalized. I don't mind the first three, but lowercase it. This is why books take so long, people. It's the little details, it's the little nuances that really do make a difference. Net account. Money put in here was never ever to be spent to be taken out again. Yeah, I did have everything was, could, well, okay, so it's good. It's the correct tense, okay. Net account. Money put in here was never ever to be taken out again. It was my brag, my claim to wealth fame. These rules helped me to begin to understand why I was getting mixed signals. My brain knew it was important to save money, N, but somewhere in there it also knew how important enjoying my life, G, in my own authentic way was. Again, once I knew the categories and I knew the rules, it somehow calmed my inner battles a little more. And that's when I realized there was one all-time important rule. Once money was put into an account, it can never be switched to another account. Makes money signals and the rules, triggers, and the sign. I like that. Triggers and the sign. Triggers and the sign. And then we are going to go, I should just pull both of these out because I'm going to keep coming back to them. So. The rules. Ultimate. And these. Okay, I like that. I like how that goes. Okay. Mixed money, signs, and the rules. Take all the time needed to decide what to put into each account, but once in that account, there is no taking it back out. We've all dealt with times of money shortages and somehow always got through. So do that with each account. Need $200 for the car payment? S. Get creative and find a way that doesn't touch I, G, or N. Once money goes into an account, it can never be switched to another category. This took a long time for me to follow. I was so used to using all available money whenever needed that to leave some money in the N account while the S account was in the negative seemed wrong. So I'd make progress, but then as soon as a bill came up, I went towards self-sabotage. Not following this one rule has cost me literal years of my life exchanged for paychecks. Ultimate rule: once money is put into an account, it can never go into another category. Sign account: money in the S account must be spent. Invest account: money in the I account must get a return on your capital. Give account: money in the G account must be spent on your authentic gift to the world. Net account: money in the net account can never leave. Follow the rules and watch how your entire life balance improves. Okay. This is a... Let me make sure that this doesn't black out again. Okay. Actually, you know what? I'm going to pause it there because I've got some things I need to do. So that was Your Money Sign, Editing It, Chapter 1, Segments 1 through 5.